Hello and welcome to Stay Ahead Flow Workout number 4. I've got a great sequence of moves for us to do today. We won't specifically need the yoga block, but I always recommend that you have the yoga block close by for these flows, especially in case your hamstrings, low back, your hips are a little tighter. Just helps to make your practice a little safer. Be sure to use it whenever you think you might need it. We are going to start all the way down onto our tummies. So coming all the way down onto your mat, with your arms by your sides. Once you're there, turn your head toward the right and let your ear just relax down onto the mat. And then let the shoulders and the neck relax. Easy little passive stretch here to get going with our practice. Give it a long, deep breath. Feel your energy slowing down. Feel your tummy breathing against the floor. And then turn your head the other direction. Letting your head and neck and shoulders relax as best as you can. Long, deep breath. And as we get started with our movements, we feel our energy settling. We feel ourselves focused and paying attention to what's going on in the here and now. I'm just trying to release any distractions as best as you can. And then let your hands come onto the ground next to your mid-rib cage and bring your forehead down onto the mat. So the chin tucks, forehead rests on the mat. We're going to just do a few shoulder loops. So start to roll the shoulders and go the other direction. And then hold the shoulders in place. Draw the shoulder blades down the back. Press the hands actively into the floor. Squeeze the glutes, push your feet into the ground, and then press the chest up away from the ground. And then slowly lower back down. So just a very small lift of the head, the chin, the chest away from the ground, coming up and lowering down. Let's do that a few more times. Easy as we go, lifting and lowering. So warming up the back, creating a little heat in the body. Squeeze the bottom muscles each time you lift. Breath in as you come up. Breath out as you go down. Twice more. Feel the glutes active. Push the feet into the floor. And then push all the way up. Widen the knees. Take the hips to the heels into child's pose. Let the arms relax. Elbows bend. Forehead down onto the mat, or maybe use the block underneath your forehead. Feel that expansion in the low back, rounding the low back. And then take your time lifting up to an upright kneeling position. Scoot the knees in close. You could put the block underneath if you need to, or if the knees don't care for this position, you can always sit upright in this position. Otherwise, the hips all the way back, knees squeezing together, reach the hands up high. Look all the way up. Reach the hands forward to the front of the mat, and we're going to come right back down all the way onto the floor, right where you just were. Push the feet into the ground. Draw the shoulder blades down the back. Press the chest up. This time, lengthen the arms. Lift the thighs away from the ground. Squeeze the glutes. Slowly lower the knees down, hips down, chest down, forehead touches the mat. Again, rise the chest up. Then push the rest of the body up, arms lengthen, belly pulls in, squeeze the glutes. Lower down, knees down, hips down, chest down, forehead to the mat. Last time, lift the chin, lift the chest, press the arms straight, thighs away from the ground. Lower the knees to the floor, take the hips to the heels, all the way back. Inhale, rise up to that same kneeling position we just did. Pull the belly in, knees close together. Reach the hands all the way up. Stretch it out, lift up, interlace the fingers. Spin the palms toward the sky, stretch through the shoulders. And then as we exhale, release the hands to the front of the mat. This time lift up into plank pose. Feeling some heat in the body. Deep breath. Holding your plank. One more breath. Slowly bring the knees to the ground and hips to heels all the way back. Forehead down on the mat. Rise back up into the kneeling position again. Knees together, belly pulled in. Modify if you need to. Reach the hands all the way up. Bring the palms together, interlace the fingers. This time the palms stay together. Stretch through the arms, squeeze your hands together tight. And then release the hands all the way back to the front of the mat. Lift up into plank pose. Squeeze the glutes. Squeeze the quads, that's the fronts of the legs. Squeeze the belly muscles. One more breath. And then push back into downward facing dog. Adjust the hands and feet as needed to get a good downward dog. And then bend and straighten the legs a couple of times so you're walking the legs out to get a little additional stretch in the backs of the legs. And then from here, walk the feet into the middle of the mat. And push all the way to standing position. Reach the arms up high, stretch it out. And lower just the hands down onto your sides. We're going to step out wide into straddle position. Get the feet out wide apart. Pull the belly in, reach the hands up high. Lengthen, look up. And then exhale, arms wide, forward fold. Bring the hands down to the shins or the ankles. Feel free to bend the knees here. Drop the head down. Squeeze your leg muscles tight. Look up and rise back up to standing. Hands up high. Lower the hands onto the back or the outsides of the legs. Slide the hands down, forward fold. Bring your hands on the floor. Widen the feet a touch more. Move side to side, bending and straightening. Keep the breath moving as you move side to side. Come back to the center position. Walk the feet in a little if need be. Lift all the way to standing. Reach the hands up high. Stretch it out. Lower the hands onto the legs, forward fold. Hands onto the floor, shift side to side. And then shift to the right and hold. Shift to the left and hold. Back to center. Pull the belly in and lift all the way to standing. Lower the hands down. Onto the hips, lengthen the spine tall, turn the right foot. Now as we turn the right foot, the hips are going to tend to turn as well. So try to keep the hips pulled back. This left hip pulls back, and then we're going to keep the hips in that position. So think of the hips being level to the front of your mat, which in this case is this edge right here. So then we're going to lean and come up, keeping the hips level, lean, and come up. Lean, hold, arms out to the sides. Place the right hand down on the shin, left hand high to the sky. Pull the belly in tight. You can look down, you could look forward, or you could look all the way up to the hand. Breathing in, lift, hands to hips, square the feet. Turn the left foot, keep the hips square. So this right hip pulls back, Then we lean. Feel that stretch. And back up. And down. Long spine as you lean. And back up. Lean, belly pulled in, arms reach out. Left hand onto the shin, right hand high to the sky. Look down, look forward, or look up. And then release, lift, square the feet, arms up high. Lower the hands down halfway. Turn the right foot. Lean. Place the hands. Look up. Lift back up, keeping the legs straight. The left hand comes onto the back leg. The right hand reaches up high. Look up. And then bring the arms to parallel. Bend the knee. Elbow to knee. Left arm up and over the ear. Stretch through your spine. Deep bend to the right leg. Get low. And then lift your right arm up off of your ear. Hold for a breath. Pull the belly in. And rise all the way up. Square the feet. Turn the left foot. Arms are parallel. Lean out. Place the hands. Look up. Squeeze your leg muscles tight. Rise back up. Right hand comes onto the back leg. Left hand reaches up high. Look up. Lengthen through the spine. Try to touch your ceiling. And then arms come to parallel. Bend your knee. Elbow to knee. Right arm up and over your ear. Take a look up toward the ceiling. Stretch through that back leg. You're deep in the bend of the front leg. Squeeze your leg muscles tight. Left elbow lifts off of the knee. Hold for a breath. And then push yourself up. Square the feet. Look up to the sky. Lower down into forward fold. Keep breathing. Come all the way up. Reach up high. Lower the hands halfway down. Turn the right foot. Lean out. Place the hands. Look up. Rise up. Reverse the hands. Look up. Arms parallel. Bend the knee. Elbow to knee. Left arm up and over the ear. Right elbow lifts off the knee. Hold for a breath. Push yourself up. Arms parallel. Switch the feet the other direction. Lean out. Place the hands. Look up. Rise up. Reverse the arms. Look up to your hand. Arms come back to parallel. Bend your knee. Elbow to knee. Right arm up and over. Look up. Left elbow comes off of the knee. Hold for a breath. Push to standing. Level the arms. Square the feet. Forward fold. Come all the way to standing. Reach the hands up high. Lower the hands down. Walk the feet in. And turn toward the front of your mat. Feet hip width apart. Hands by your sides. Deep breath in. Pull the belly in tight. And then slide the hands down your legs, sitting down into chair pose. Hips sit back. Arms reach behind the back. Squeeze the shoulder blades up. And then let the shoulder blades move down the back. So there's space between the tops of the arms and the ears. Pull the belly in tight, sit low. And then rise all the way to standing. Reach the hands up high, look up. And then sweep the hands back behind the back down into chair pose. Set the shoulders. And rise up. Sweep the arms back, down into chair pose. Set the shoulders. This time, reach the arms up halfway, hold. Arms are out in front. Push all the way to standing, look up. Sweep the hands behind the back into chair pose. Set the shoulders. Sweep the arms out in front, arms up halfway, pull the belly in, sit low. All the way to standing, look up. And then down into chair pose, sweep the arms behind, set the shoulders. Reach the arms up halfway out in front, interlace the fingers, spin the palms, pull the belly in tight, try to lift the arms to up the ears. Push all the way to standing, look up, press into the hands. Release the hands. And then sweep the hands back into chair pose, sit low. Inhale, reach the arms out in front halfway. Interlace the fingers, spin the palms, pull the belly in, lift your arms toward your ears. Push all the way to standing, look up to the hands, and lower the arms down onto your sides. Breath in and breath out. Inhale and exhale. Step the feet in close together. Sides of the big toes touch. Bend your knees slightly. Squeeze the legs together. Sit down into chair pose. Keep going down. Your weight's into your heels. Your back is straight. Look forward. Pull the belly in. Reach the arms out in front. Bring the palms to touch. Hands onto the heart. Sit low. Pull the belly in tight. Press all the way to standing. Raise the hands up high, look up. Lower the hands down. Bend your knees, sink your hips. Bring the hands onto the heart. Sit low. Press to standing. Reach the hands up high. Release the hands onto your sides. Bend your knees, sink your hips. Squeeze the legs together. Hands up onto your heart. This time, twist toward your left. Sit low. Twist toward your right. Sit low. Back to center position. All the way to standing. Reach the hands up high. Lower the hands down. Stay with deep breathing. Bend your knees, sink your hips, hands onto the heart. Pull the belly in, rotate to your left. Either stay here or bring the elbow down onto the knee. Look up. Release back to center. Rotate to your right. Either stay here or bring the elbow down onto the knee. Sit your hips down low. Shoulders away from the ears. Come back to center. Squeeze your legs together tight. All the way to standing. Hands up high. Look up. Lower the hands down. Onto your sides. Breath in. Breath out. Find your tall posture. Sternum lifting. Leg muscles active. Breath in. Breath out. Hands onto your heart. Bend your knees. Squeeze your legs together. Lift your right foot up off the ground with your left knee still bent. Single leg squat pose. Try to bend your left knee an inch further. Bring your right foot onto the ground. Left foot lifts. Keep your right knee bent. Pull the belly in. Bring the foot to the ground. Straighten the legs. Hands up high. Palms touch. Hands to the heart. Squeeze the legs together. Sit down into chair pose. Lift the right foot off the ground. Keep the left knee bent. This time, sweep the right leg behind And then straighten the right leg. Behind, straighten the left leg. Pull the belly in. Bring the right foot back onto the ground. Bend both knees. Sit down into chair pose. Squeeze your legs together. Left foot lifts. Right leg stays bent. Swing the left leg behind and straighten both legs. Try to lengthen that left leg behind. And then bring the left foot back to the ground, bend both knees, sit down into squat pose. And then straighten the legs, reach the arms up high, and bring the hands down onto your sides. Breath in, and breath out. And from here, step the feet out hip width apart. Look down to your feet, make sure your feet are parallel to each other. Pull the belly in, be strong. If the knees have less flexibility or there's any discomfort there, bring the elbows down onto the knees and do your squat from here. Otherwise, full knee bend, hands to the ground, come into full squat pose. Feet are parallel to each other. Knees are apart. Look up. Fingers on the ground, or maybe bring one hand onto one knee, or maybe both hands onto both knees. Or hands onto the heart. Try to lengthen your spine tall. If you need extra support, bring the hands back to the ground. Otherwise, hands stay on the heart. We stand back up. Raise the hands up high. Palms touch, hands onto the heart. Again, if you need the extra support or an easier option, bring the hands down to the floor first. Otherwise, hands at the heart, bend the knees. We're going to slowly descend down into full squat. Keep breathing. Hands on the floor or use your block. Placing your hands on that block if that would be helpful to you. Either hands on the floor or hands stay at the heart, we rise back up. Hands up high, look up. And then release, hands by your sides. This time, feet go out wider to the edges of the mat, aim the toes out. Again, easier option, elbows onto the knees. This protects the knees if there's any pain or swelling there. Otherwise, full squat. The heels can lift up off the ground like I've done here. Or you may find you can keep the heels down and do full squat. You decide which option is best for you. Lengthen the spine, look up. Keep breathing. Again, if you need the extra support, the hands will come down to the ground to help you. Otherwise, the hands at the heart, stand back up. Reach up high. Lower the hands onto your sides. Bring the hands onto the heart. Again, either hands down to the floor first or hands at the heart and squat down. Heels do not have to be on the ground here. Find what works for you. Draw the shoulders away from the ears. Either hands on the floor or hands at the heart. Rise back up. Reach the hands up high. Stretch. Last time, hands down onto the floor or hands to the heart, squat down. Deep breath. And rise up. Hands up high. And lower the arms all the way down. All right, nice work. We're going to finish standing sequence with a balance pose, then we're going to head down to the floor. Bring the feet close together. Pull the belly in. Lift the right foot off the ground. Hands could be on the hips, or for more challenge, interlace the fingers around the knee. Bend the elbows, pull the knee in. Draw the shoulders away from the ears. Steady your gaze and breathe. Hold the knee in place. Release the hands toward the ceiling, stretch. Maybe look up. And then release all the way down. Other side, left foot lifts, pull the belly in, hands on the hips, or hands around the knee. Shoulders away from the ears, pull the belly in tight. Keep the knee in place. Raise the hands toward the sky. Option to look up. And then take your time, release the foot to the ground, arms up high. And then we'll release and we'll head all the way down onto the floor. Coming all the way down onto the back. And once you're on your back, bend up the knees, wrap the arms around the legs, and pull in. Feel the low back rounded as you pull the knees in toward the chest. And then place one hand onto each knee. Move the knees wide apart. Feel an inner groin stretch. Feel free to stay here, or if you'd like more, lift the feet up above the knees, bring your hands behind the knees, or reach up around the ankles, or perhaps reach the outsides of your feet. Open the legs wide, feel the stretch in the hips. Great position to close the eyes. You can move a little bit if you like, or just hold still. Three more long, deep breaths. And then release your hand hold. Lengthen your legs along the mat. Place your hands on your tummy, or one hand on your tummy and one hand on your heart. And take this moment at the end of our practice to observe your breath. And as we end our practice, notice how good it feels to do your self-care. To recognize that we're doing all we can every day to take care of our today and to take care of our future. And take your time, bend up your knees, and slowly roll yourself up to upright seated position. Feel free to place your hands on your knees, or perhaps hands across the chest, or maybe hands in the prayer position. Allow the chin to fall toward the heart in a gesture of reverence to that inner light of life that resides within. And thank you so much for allowing me to guide you today. Namaste. All right, so glad you joined me for this flow. I'll look forward to seeing you again very, very soon.